I know you're dreaming of yourself unpacking boxes in a beautiful new home that reflects everything that you are, a space that feels calming and secure. But really, this could be the reality after a divorce, a chance to start fresh here in Colorado. But also, buying a house after divorce can really feel overwhelming. Now, are you worried about affording a home on your own? Do you have questions about the legal side of things? Feeling lost and not even knowing where to start or begin your search? These are all very common concerns, and you're not alone. In fact, many people going through divorce find that home buying process really can be an empowering step towards building a brighter future. Hi, I'm Bobby Friel, a realtor here in Colorado, and I'm here to help. I've gone through a divorce myself and have helped dozens of clients through this process. And in this conversation, we're going to explore the financial considerations of buying a home after a divorce, the legal aspects, and most importantly, how to find the perfect place to call your own. So let's get started. All right, let's get down to the real things. Buying a house is a big financial decision, and after a divorce, it's even more important to feel secure about your money. You might not have those two incomes working for you anymore. And we'll start by getting a clear picture of your credit score. This is the key to unlocking great mortgage credit terms. So if your score needs a little love, we can definitely work on boosting those scores before we start the house hunting process. And next, we're going to want to create a realistic budget for your new property. Obviously, this is getting qualified for a mortgage. Really, we want to get pre-approved on a spending limit from the bank based on your income and your credit score, your debt ratios. And think of it as a green light from your banker, showing sellers that you're a serious buyer and helping you focus on houses that truly fit what you want to spend. Now, dividing up marital assets is a big part of divorce settlement, and it directly impacts how much you can put down towards a down payment. And we'll look at how those assets are being divided and make sure that we have a clear picture of what you can bring to the table for your new home. And let's not forget about any ongoing financial obligations you have. Could it be alimony, child support payments, just to name a couple things. These need to be factored into the affordability calculations, figuring out how much house you can comfortably manage. And by taking all these financial considerations into account, we can make sure that you're stepping confidently into home ownership on a strong financial foundation. This way, we can focus on creating that fresh start in your new place. Now that we figured out the money side of things, let's talk about some of the legal stuff that come up after the divorce. It might not be the most fun topic, but trust me, getting everything squared away legally will save you a ton of grief in the long run. Think of your divorce decree as the instruction manual for dividing your stuff, including the property and anything else that you've owned together. And we'll need to take a good look at that document to understand exactly what it says about who owns what. For example, you and your ex-spouse may have owned a home together. The decree might say that you have to sell it, or maybe that one of you gets to buy out the other one's share of the equity. There's also a chance that you agreed to keep the house and your ex-spouse gets the things of equal value. Now, whatever the situation is, we'll make sure that you completely understand the legal stuff before we start looking for your new place. Here's another thing to consider. What if your divorce decree doesn't say anything about the house? Unlikely, however, but sometimes this can happen, especially if things were amicable and the house was not a big fight point. In this case, we'll need to look at the Colorado laws of equitable distribution. Understanding these legal things is also important to figure out who exactly gets what or owns what. This way, we can actually start searching for your new home. We'll be on solid legal ground and can take focus on finding the perfect place for your fresh start instead of some of the old legal matters. Speaking of legal matters, keeping your finances separate from your ex during this time is a very smart move, and it's encouraged. It's like creating a separate savings account just for your new home. So for example, let's say you've got pre-approved for your mortgage based on your income and the money in your joint checking account. That wouldn't necessarily be great if your ex keeps depositing or taking money in and out of the account, which could mess up your debt ratios, your loan to value ratios, and mess up the pre-qualification. So having separate accounts specifically for your down payment and home buying expenses really gets rid of just this risk of trying to figure out where all this money is coming from. And once you find the perfect place, you want to make sure the deed is in your name only. The deed is basically the official document that says you own the property. And we'll work with the seller and your lawyer potentially to make sure that your name is the only one on the deed. This way, there's no confusion or joint ownership issues down the road. Here's why this is important. So imagine you find your dream home, a charming bungalow with a white picket fence, and you put down a big down payment, and you sign on the dotted line, and you get the keys to the house, and you're excited to start this new chapter. But if you're years down the line, you get a surprise letter from your ex's lawyer claiming that they have ownership rights to the property because their name wasn't removed from the deed during the divorce. A clean deed with your name alone prevents this kind of headache. Now, finally, if you're selling your marital home as part of the divorce settlement, understanding capital gains taxes is important. Basically, if you sell a house for more than you originally paid for it, you may owe taxes on the profit. There are a few key exceptions, though, for primary residents especially, depending on how long you and your ex lived in the house. You may not be liable for any taxes at all, which is a huge win. Now, let's break down this with a quick, rough example. Imagine you and your ex bought a house for $300,000 10 years ago. You decide to sell it as part of the divorce settlement, and the market has been exploding. It's just been booming. The house now sells for $800,000, which means that's a profit of $500,000. But under current tax law, if you and your ex, when you were married, lived in the house for 2 of the last 5 years before the sale, you can exclude up to $250,000 of capital gains from taxes if you're filing single, or $500,000 if you're filing jointly. So no taxes on that money at all in this case. However, this is a complex area and tax laws can change. So definitely consult with qualified tax advisors, and it's really essential to understand your situation. And by addressing these legal considerations up front, we can ensure a smooth and secure path to home ownership on the next chapter of life. And remember, I'm here to guide you through every step of the process, so don't hesitate to ask any questions that you might have. In this process, one thing people ignore is the emotions involved. With all these emotions swirling around, it's really easy to get swept away and jump into the house hunting process before you're really ready. So let's set some realistic expectations and timelines that work for you. Don't feel pressure to stick to an arbitrary timeline though, and take the time that you need to heal emotionally inside and of course financially. And just remember, finding a home that should feel like a sanctuary, not just another box to check off. So this home buying journey can really be positive and empowering during this experience, and focus on what you want and what you need in a new space. Imagine the joy of decorating a place that really reflects your unique style, a place where you can create new memories and traditions. Think about the sense of accomplishment you'll feel when you close the deal, knowing that you did this all on your own terms. Now, lastly, let's talk about the kind of home that best suits your post-divorce lifestyle. Are you looking for a low-maintenance condo or a charming single-family home with a yard? Maybe you envision a quiet suburban haven or a place close to the action in downtown Denver. Really consider your daily routine, hobbies, and your future plans. Do you need a dedicated workspace if you work from home more frequently? Do you have kids, and proximity to schools and extracurricular activities might be a definite priority? And speaking of negotiations, don't be intimidated by the process. As your realtor, I'll be by your side every step of the way. Really just guiding you through the creative and competitive offers and strategizing to secure the best deal possible for you this new place. And you know, in today's hot Colorado market, multiple offers are common, but with strong negotiation skills and a clear understanding of your budget and necessary needs for this property, you can really find yourself sealing the deal on your new dream home sooner than later. And remember, buying a home after a divorce is a significant step, but it can also be incredibly rewarding. By setting realistic goals and working with the right team like ourselves, you can really turn this negative experience into a positive, empowering chapter in your life. And let's create a roadmap for success together and find the perfect place to call your own. And while you're here, take some more time to check out one of these other videos. And you know, if you want to have a quick consultation, there's a link in the description or the top pinned comment that has a direct link to my calendar. Just pick a time that works with your schedule as well, and we'll definitely just have a quick meet and greet, kind of learn what you're trying to accomplish and start to formulate a clear plan of action for you. You know, as always, get out and enjoy our great Colorado sunny days. Stay tuned.